Okay, so I've done the first two videos for exercises 1 and 2. Now I'm going to start exercise 3. And again, just some things to point out is when you're looking at these parts, look for symmetry. And when you have a part that's round like this, it has radial symmetry, and so by default you're going to want to put that right in the middle of your coordinate system. So let me show you what I mean. We're going to go New, Part, OK. Again, we're always going to look to make sure this is in inches because this drawing is in inches. Nope, I take that back. This drawing is in millimeters, so let me change that. Yep, this is in millimeters. So make sure this is in millimeters for this one. I'm going to turn on my planes so I can see those permanently. And then let me just make sure the default setting for the dimensions, it only has to be one place precision because this is, oops, fine, that always happens. One place precision because you don't have anything other smaller than first decimal place on that, so that'll save us some room so we don't get a lot of clutter with a lot of extra digits in there. So anyway, we have this part. It has radial symmetry, which means it's going to be around an axis. So I'm going to go ahead and even though we haven't talked about this before, I'm going to add some reference geometry. So this is kind of a preview of something we're going to talk about later. But if you look under reference geometry, you can add more planes, you can add axes, you can add points, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and well, actually I don't have to revolve this part, so I won't bother. But anyway, eventually we'll add an axis, and I could have done a revolve on this part, but I won't do that. I'll just stick to straight extrudes. Anyway, back to the point. The first feature, if we want to create something that looks just like the isometric view, it's going to come off this front plane. And our first main feature is this circular feature that's 50 millimeters tall, and it is 150 millimeters in diameter. So we just draw this, and then smart dimension. And that's supposed to be 150 in diameter. So there's that. And that's really all we need to do for our first feature. So we'll exit the sketch, and it's going to be a blind extrusion. Again, as I said, it's going to be 50 millimeters tall. So we'll put in 50 and hit check. Okay, so there's our 50 millimeter tall part. The next thing we have are these 4 bosses. And these bosses are going to be let me look at this real close because it's kind of small in the drawing. Yeah, it's a 20 millimeter boss, and we're going to put these bosses on a bolt hole circle. So this is something that we haven't talked about before. We're going to do something where we aren't going to create a feature, we're just going to create a sketch. So let me select sketch, and I'm going to sketch a circle, and I'm going to sketch it on this circular front face, and I'm going to have to use this to get it there. I'm going to select the origin if I can. There it is. And I'm going to bring this out, and it's supposed to be 115, so I'll put it right there. Notice this checkbox here. This is for construction. So we want to make a sketch of a circle that isn't going to be a feature circle. It's just going to be a construction circle to help us draw other features. So I'm going to hit check, and then I want to smart dimension this to make sure that it comes out to be 115, and hit check, and there it is. And so I exit my sketch, and that's just going to be my construction circle sketch. Next, I want to create a boss that's going to be based on that construction circle. So let's go back to Features, Extruded Boss. Again, I'm going to select this front face, and I'm going to go normal to that front face, and then I'm going to draw the circle. So let's see. Okay, so no snaps are showing up. Usually with quadrants, you can see I got the little diamonds at the quadrants, but there's none here at the 45. So that's no big deal. I'll instead of drawing that, I'll go ahead and I'll create a center line, and the center line is just like this dashed center circle. And you know what? I think I might even go and add this back to that other sketch. So let me exit sketch and get out of all that. And let me just go one step back. Okay, so the sketch where I have the circle, I'm going to go ahead and edit this sketch, and I'm going to go ahead and put in my center line right along with it. So if I draw a center line that goes from the center at the origin, and notice as you rotate around, eventually you get to a point where it gives you that automatic 135 degrees. You know, that's indicative of a 45-degree angle. So it'll snap to that 45-degree angle, and then if you snap to that circle, see that little point right there? That's the point you're going to use to locate that boss. So I'm going to hit check. And now I've got the little point that I want. I'm going to exit that sketch. So now all this reference geometry is in this sketch here. And I can go ahead and create my extruded boss. And again, I'm going to be on this plane. And I'm going to be utilizing this reference geometry that's in a separate sketch to make my new sketch for my part. So I chose circle, and notice now I can snap to that. And that's exactly where I want it, and it doesn't matter how big I make because I'm going to smart dimension it. And I need to make this be a 20 millimeter circle. So I'm going to change that to 20 to 0. Okay, I'm going to hit check. And according to the drawing, if I look in the side view, that is 15 millimeters tall. So when I exit my sketch and I look, I'm going to change it. It stays blind, but instead of the 50 we used before, this is only going to be 15. 1, 5. And I hit check. And there is my boss. So what I want to do now is go ahead and do a circular pattern of this, and this is where that axis can come in handy. I can base my pattern off this, but I can also base it off an axis. I'll go ahead and base it off the cylindrical surface just because that's what we've done so far. So again, let's do a circular pattern. Let me start again. Let me select that boss, then I'll select circular pattern. And it wants to know what axis to do it around, and this cylindrical surface will define an axis. Nope, it went into features and faces. Sorry, I had the wrong box checked. I want this one to be blue. Now let me select that. Okay, and it shows me my pattern. It assumes I want 4, it assumes I want equal spacing. Everything else looks good, so I'm going to hit check, and now I've got that. At this point I can start subtracting material, and so what I'll do first is I will cut the circular hole in the middle that is 80 millimeters in diameter. And so that's an easy cut to do. If I say extrude cut, I select this front face, I go normal 2, again I just draw my circle, snaps real nice to the origin. Smart dimension. Make that 80. Check. Now I exit sketch. And I'm again going to go to ISO view. Okay, so good. It is cutting in. That's what I want. If you look at the side view, it says this is to be 25 millimeters, not 15. So I'm going to hit check. And there is that hole. And then the next I have a 45 millimeter square. So to make this, again, I say extruded cut. The plane I want is going to be that surface down at the bottom of the hole. I'm going to go normal 2. This time I'm going to select my center rectangle because that allows me to just grab that origin point there and draw something square-ish. And then smart dimension, and this becomes 45. This becomes 45. And I hit check, and I exit sketch, and I want this to be through all. And I need to go to ISO view to make sure it's in the right direction. Yep, it's cutting out the bottom. And now I've got that. Finally, the last feature I want to put in is this M12 times 1.5 millimeter tapped hole with default depth settings. And what I want to do here is, you know what I can do is I can go ahead and roll this back. And actually roll this back on the circular pattern. This is the little rollback bar. It basically suppresses parts up to whatever parts you're interested in, and then any feature you add comes in right after this one. So what I'm going to do, this is a neat trick, I'll do Hole Wizard. I want that, and notice now I'm going to go to ANSI metric because the whole callout is a metric one. I want it to be a tapped hole, and I want it to be a 12 by 1.5. So digging through here, I'm looking for 12 by 1.5. There's that. Default depth settings. Okay, so for a depth, it's just going to go blind 2 times the diameter, and that's perfectly fine. So we'll stick with that. And then for position, we want to be on this boss. And now we get this thing, and if I hover over that, see that little target that showed up? I'm going to jump on that target and put that hole right in the middle. And I'm going to say check. Okay, so that works out great. So I have those things. And again, the reason why I suppress is when I get back to the circular pattern, I want to edit this. And you see I can select Edit Feature. And in this box here, I have Boss Extrude. But if I go up here, I can go ahead and add that hole to it and hit check, and boom, now I've gotten all those holes to go along with it. Now I can unsuppress these 2 features, and boom, I've got that, and it's all there in one spot. So it's a real nice trick. If you forget to add something, you're able to throw that on in there. Finally, they have a call out here for a 2.5 typical radius. And so there's going to be a couple of things. So I will put the radius on this front face first. So let me go to fillet, and it's going to be really small. It's 1.5. And I'm just going to put it on this face there. So it gave me all of those. And I'm going to hit check. And again, I can make my life simpler if I just go back to this first Boss Extrude and such, and if I go ahead and put the same kind of fillet there, and I'm just going to select this one edge to put it on and hit check. Then when I bring back my circular pattern, I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to say, you know what, I want to throw that little fillet in there too. And now that goes all the way around, and now when I unsuppress everything, boom, I've got all my fillets. So again, it's really nice. You can sit there and go fillet, 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 and add all that, or you can do it once and add it to the pattern, and I think that's a better way to go. So again, just kind of showing off some of the features of what you can do when you're doing this thing. Looking around, the material is to be copper, so I'm going to right click on material, edit material. I'm going to shrink steel because I don't want steel, so let's look at all the copper alloys. And here it just says plain old copper. So I select copper, I say apply and close, and now it has kind of a copperish tone to it, so that's kind of nice. So now save your part, and I'm going to call it exercise 3 JMH. I'm going to save it, and that's all you need to do for this particular exercise.